Less funding means it's harder to retain staffing. We have a pretty big staffing in public safety. Sometimes we're running under minimum staffing. Our center takes over 1 million calls a year because we not only dispatch for Phoenix, but we also dispatch for 30 of the cities in the valley. So you can imagine on how that could affect us when we are low in staffing. With the budget cuts, it does put the citizens of Phoenix and their safety in danger because 911 calls are sometimes not getting answered right away. I'm worried about the billionaires cutting federal funding and attacking the cities and our Medicaid and Social Security. These budget cuts will hurt funding for the state of Arizona. It will hurt the city of Phoenix if we don't do anything about it. Everything rolls downhill is how I feel. So whatever happened to the federal employees, when is that going to affect me? Which is a really big fear. Sorry, I lost my place. But we're not alone in this fight, and we should always stand together and push back on these attacks on our jobs and our services that we all rely on. That's why we're here today with my union siblings to say that enough is enough, and we can't let our neighbors suffer just so billionaires could get tax breaks. That's why I'm glad to have the allies like Representative Stanton, who will stand with us to bring on these changes, and who will stand up and say something. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Kanika. I'm here today to speak about Head Start. I was a Head Start child. Head Start gave me a love of learning, and after I earned my degree in social work, I got a job with Head Start so I could help families the same way Head Start helped me. Most people don't realize that Head Start is not just a preschool program where children get their first exposure to a formal education. Head Start is a comprehensive program that provides case management, crisis intervention, parental trainings, nutrition, health and dental services, mental health support services, behavioral health services, disability screenings and support services, and so much to children and their entire household. I have been a Head Start caseworker for almost 28 years, but I am tired. Not tired of helping families below the federal poverty guidelines, not tired of helping parents get training and jobs, not tired of seeing some Head Start parents become volunteers and eventually employees of the program. I'm not even tired of 4-year-olds calling me teacher, even though I'm a caseworker. I am tired of Head Start funding always being in jeopardy. Head Start is a fully grant-funded program by the federal government. It has always been the first program on the chopping block when it comes time for federal budget cuts. But this time, it's different. When cuts and layoffs are made so recklessly and without regard for the impact on regular people, the threat feels more real than ever before. I know just how vital Head Start is because I was a Head Start child and my own child went through the Head Start program. Cuts to federal funding will have a variety of disastrous effects on children and their families. Families won't get the crisis assistance. Children with disabilities won't get early screening and implementation of support services. Medical needs won't be addressed.
For our children. Arizonans depend on the over 140 lawsuits challenging these illegal acts by this administration. And so far, we are winning virtually every single one of them, where the courts are standing firm against overreach by Trump and Musk and this administration. Over 140 court cases have already been filed against the Trump-Vance administration's executive order or agency actions, and many of them have resulted in significant legal victories that have frozen parts of the GOP's radical, lawless agenda in their tracks. Many federal employees who were illegally fired have been reinstated. More are being reinstated right now as we speak. That is our system of government. Checks and balances, independent branches of government. And there is one other point I want to make, go a little bit off script here. There is a reason why this administration is openly encouraging impeachment of federal judges, because federal judges, thank God, are doing their job to protect this democracy, and they are standing on the side of law and making it clear that these are illegal acts. And because they are doing their job, because they are calling out and stopping these illegal acts, this administration is encouraging members of Congress to file articles of impeachment against these judges. That's un-American. That should send a chill down everyone's spine, how far they are willing to go to try to go more to create an authoritarian type government here in the United States. The American people will not put up with it. The American people are smart, and they are going to fight for our constitutional democracy. And I'm fighting to protect federal funding that Congress has appropriated on a bipartisan basis. You see, these attacks on these federal programs that the current administration is doing, when they said that they're not going to spend money on, for example, infrastructure projects, that was voted on by Congress in a bipartisan way. 148 Republicans voted for these projects as well. When they try to stop funding for those projects after it's been voted on by Congress, after it's been signed by the president, that is blatantly illegal. So these infrastructure projects, these grant programs, if the president continues to try to block that funding, that goes against our system of government and deserves to be fought, and the courts are going to stand up and continue to do the right thing. I have confidence. That's another reason why they're attacking the judiciary. Congress has appropriated on a bipartisan basis resources for cities and states and counties and tribes and other levels of government. They are counting on to continue to provide these essential services that these great people that spoke earlier, the work that they do to serve the people of this community at the local level, in part because of federal support. That work continues. They deserve to continue to do their work. The people of this community deserve to receive the services that these great employees provide. To the workers and contractors whose livelihood is under attack, and every American who counts on the services these hardworking people provide, I stand with you, and I will fight for you and your families every step of the way. In court, on the House floor, and in the community, using the bully pulpit that we have to get this word out that our system is under attack, and it is, our founding fathers set up the system, and it is worth fighting for. That's why these are such serious times in this country. Thank you. The appropriate way to do it is to come before Congress, make your case, and Congress represents the American people, have a vote of the American people. If you want to make these massive changes, go for it. I mean, try it, but come before Congress to make your case. That is the system that our founding fathers set up. Other questions? All right, thanks again to our friends in ASME for your leadership in setting this up. This is not the last you're going to hear from us. You're going to be hearing from folks through town halls all across the United States of America, including here in Phoenix. Thanks for covering. Have a great one.
Thank you. Because I know you got to fly out of here. So you guys want to grab your mics? The others want to join the Sure.
I like her.
Do you mind taking one of them?
That was good.